Hey Butterfly, and welcome to recap for season 4, episode 1 of The Chi. You guys know that this is one of my favorite shows. So this season, I'm going to do a recap after every video so that we can discuss, debrief, and process what we go through. I know we said we don't really want black trauma, but this show is more than black trauma because there is life being lived in the midst of the struggles. And you can see yourself in at least one or two of the characters on the show. We're going to begin this conversation just by talking about season 3 a little bit so that we can compare apples to apples. We know where we left off. We know where we're going. And I have time because I laid my babies down, so we don't have to worry about that. And by babies, I mean baby hairs. I ain't got no kids. Anyway, let's start with last season. All the things happened. That was a very difficult situation with Keisha. All of these kids been through a lot. Too much. Too much. These kids been through too much. But one of the final scenes that really kind of stood out to me, and I was just like, this don't make sense. Coogie got killed in like season 1, episode 1. How all of a sudden he got some best friend or homie who wanted to avenge his death by shooting old Ronald in the back of the head? I was like, where's the glue in this storyline? Because that didn't make no sense. All this time, Brandon was running around here trying to get at Ronnie and all that. Ain't never been one of Coogie's friends showing up talking about Coogie was my main man in them. But all of a sudden, okay, let's talk about some things that have been consistent throughout all of the seasons. Number 1, Darnell's Bluetooth. Hello? Hello. If you see Darnell, you're going to see that Bluetooth. And I appreciate that Bluetooth as a part of his character because I got uncles who still wear their phone on their hip. So that's a bit of home for me. Number 2, Emmett messing up. Emmett always going to mess up. He been messing up. And we root for him and we think, oh, this is going to be the time that Emmett gets it together, but it's not. We are in an abusive relationship with Emmett. We keep hoping that he gonna do the right thing, knowing he gonna just break our heart, okay? So hopefully this season, we're gonna have to bring this to some closure. LGBTQ plus imagery. Let me just preface this. It amazes me how people come to a show created by someone from the community and expect that person not to show representation. Did you get lost? Can we help you find the exit? This probably isn't the show for you then. Like, how can you come here and then complain about the imagery? I don't get it. For context, season 3, I asked on Facebook, my personal Facebook page, I said, hey y'all, do y'all watch The Chi? This was literally the question. Do y'all watch The Chi? And when I tell you the comments was talking about the gay agenda, I said, the gay agenda? Do y'all think that when y'all watch a show with gay imagery that is going to hop out and get into you? It's just going to get into you? That's not how it works. Do y'all know that there has been a stupid pandemic since the beginning of time? Have you been tested? Have you gotten your stupid evaluation? Because that's how I feel. You come to a place that is created by someone who wants to show representation based on their background, and you say that that's too much? Why are you here? Are you lost? Can we help you find your parents? You're not where you're supposed to be. I don't have a problem with it. Ty loves all the people, but it just amazes me how often the topic comes up. And don't think you slick, because you didn't have no problem with gay imagery when it was just Keisha and Kevin's mom and Dre. But as soon as they start putting transgender women in there and males who were attracted to transgender, then it was, oh, we corrupt the society. Again, have you been tested for stupidity? You may be owed compensation if you are living without full faculties, a few staircases short of a flight. We don't know. You got to get evaluated. Moving on. Ronald's voice cadence, consistent. I was going to the store. Keisha, is that you? It's like a. That's how Ronald talked throughout all the seasons. These are things that are consistent, that really like let me know I'm watching The Chi right now. Okay? And my last one is going to be eyes closing between Papa and Maisha before they start talking. Every time before they talk, they do a little, Maisha, I care about you. Papa, I want to be your girlfriend. Pay attention to their eyes, because that really trips me out every time, how they close their eyes before they deliver a line. All right, let's get into season 4. Opening scene. Art. Artisanal. Artistic. They had the track with the reverse giving you a preview of what was about to happen, what had happened, what was going to happen, what y'all thought was going to happen. All these scenes and clips meshed together on a beat. And now we know that there's going to be like some betrayal. Somebody going to get shot. It's going to be a lot of things. Ham hocks with collard greens. That's what that opening scene was for me. Heaven sent. Artisanal. I know that refers to bread, but that's how I felt. It was beautiful. Side note, the people on this show, beautiful. All of them. All the skin shades. Every last one of them. I find myself looking at this show like, wow, blackness is beautiful. And I know that to be true. That is my experience. That is my opinion. And this show really shows a diverse spectrum of body types and shades and different personalities. And I'm just like, whoo, can I have seconds? All right. So we had that opening scene. I'm reading my notes. Maybe as we progress, I'll just have this stuff off my mind. But literally, I'm in my living room shooting this right now. I literally just watched it. So I made my notes and I was just like, okay, I'm going to put those notes on here so that I don't forget a thing. Next up, I just wanted to say that it was discovered last season that Tiffany is a Scorpio. And this season, he had said in the episode, you know, I can close this down, put on some Jodeci. And as a Scorpio who loves Jodeci, cornbread, fresh out of the oven, not burnt. That's what that was for me. Like, oh, wow, I feel seen. Also, Tiffany, I feel like you should kind of be feeling like your spidey senses should be up. Because Emmett was acting hella weird throughout this whole episode. Every time she even got close to Dominique, Emmett was, well, what y'all in here talking about? Huh? Guilty conscience. And I know Tiffany about to pick up on that. Also, Darnell now dating Dominique. Dominique telling Darnell, hey, I smashed your son. Darnell then saying, nah, that's life. Trash. Darnell, I'm calling you on the Bluetooth. Trash. You okay with going behind your son? But then again, I mean, you only been his father for what, a few years now because y'all was beefing, but still, you okay going behind your son? Am I able to call the people still, or have they aged out of that? Because that was disgusting. I just couldn't believe that. When Darnell did say, when he came into the shop and he had his Bluetooth and he was telling his homeboy, like, I'm 15 minutes away. And then he was like, saying I'm on my way is a figure of speech. Felt that. I too will say I'm on my way and I'm still getting dressed. It's a cultural thing. And if you're not from the cultural collective, mind your business. But if you are from the culture, you know that you're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. But I just thought that was such a cute and quirky line that also resonated with the audience that is watching the show, right? Next up, Kevin calling Gemma angry. So Kevin is starting to evolve as the don't want no problems type of personality. And we saw a bit of that before. He just does not like confrontation. He internalizes what he's going through. He doesn't talk about it. We can see that he needs therapy, therapist, counselor interventionist because he's drugging and drinking now. Drugging and drinking, trying to address that inner turmoil that he's feeling at such a young age. We can't forget these kids are young. They barely have the language to describe what they are feeling, and they have been through so much trauma in such a short amount of time. Side note, personally, I don't really like the scenes with the kids doing grown-up stuff. I know it happens. You know, we all been kids. But as an adult watching it, I feel a little, ugh. Skip that. It's gross. They're underage. I don't want to see it. But then again, I'm here watching a show centered around children and their coming of age story, their characters, right? But we see that Kevin is developing this kind of, if you just don't make waves, you won't have any problems. And we know that that is not true, because that scene, watching them get assaulted by the police officers, one, it was very difficult to watch. We saw Jake and Kevin have two different polar viewpoints about how that situation should have gone. Jake felt like, I didn't do anything wrong, therefore I shouldn't have been subjected to this type of treatment and you should have had my back. Kevin felt like, if we just would have showed them our ID, we could have got through that. And we know by living the Black experience, it don't matter what you do. If these cops want to have a problem, they're going to have a problem with you. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and contributes to what they gave a glimpse of, a future divide. And you know what? Between Gemma and Jake, remember they always had that kind of back and forth cat and mouse type thing? I always like, you got to pay attention to that because that's some sparks there. And then in the preview package of the beginning of the episode, we saw Gemma making out with Jake on the steps. Now, we don't know if maybe that's a fear that Kevin has. That will be determined through future episodes. But I always felt like they had a little bit of fire there. And in the conversation when they're coming from school, before the event happens, you see that Gemma and Jake have views that are aligned when it's coming to their viewpoints of the world. Gemma coming from a privileged lifestyle in which, you know, she doesn't really want or need for anything, but she's still Black, and she's still Black centered in a predominantly Caucasian school. But even in that, she's been able to find her identity, and she's calling out the things that are wrong in the world. And Kevin is seeing that as anger. He labeled her an angry Black woman, and she hasn't even reached full maturity. So that really says something to me. It's like when you bring to attention something that other people don't want to confront, they are quick to put a label on you. And I didn't like that, but it shows the journey of a young Black woman. Like, shush, they want her to be quiet. Maisha had that come up a few times as well, where people didn't want her to be as vocal, and she found her voice in different situations. So we're seeing all of those different personalities evolving in the context of being Black, even in an urban situation. Next up, the cops on Jake's, that was too much. They did not have to whoop that baby's ass like that. I was just like, it was too much. It's too much. And what could the kids do around? Then he go to show the ID. Kevin go to show the ID. And he pulls out the gun. Now ask yourself, are they doing that in Caucasian neighborhoods? No. That's not being done. Just because him and old boy had a little disagreement, and we're going to have to keep our eye on that. Because I still feel like some gang members have it in for Jake and his brother. And let's just talk about my baby Jake. My poor little baby Jake has been through so much. Lost his mama, orphaned, watched all this trauma, abuse, like lost his brother. Remember Reggie? I miss Reggie. He was a wild boy, but he took care of his brother. Now I like Trig too. Trig has a lot more stability than Reg, but you know, this young man has lost a lot. And you see the outlook that he has when Kevin told Gemma, I love you. Jake is like, ew, I ain't gonna be out here saying I love you to no bees. And that's because he's never really had an example of authentic love from a woman. His mama turned his back on him. He ain't really had anybody else around. Now he has his brother's girlfriend who has stepped in and is about to probably fill those gaps. But at this point, he is who he is. So it's going to take a lot of work to talk him out of some of those negative ideas that he has about love and relating, relationships, and his outlook on the world in general, because he's just faced so much adversity and trauma that it's like, at this point, that's kind of, it is what it is. But Jake has been through a lot. I would say that he's been through the most out of all of them. Shout out to them, including the line where my boy Papa was like, when him and Maisha was talking about what should we do with the footage of the cops beating up on Jake and Kevin. And he was like, that's going to be good trouble. I see y'all black creatives giving John Lewis his flowers because All American did the same thing with the good trouble. I see y'all and I like it. Keep it up. All right. That's how we're going to bridge the gap with our history. We got to let our little kids know what was happening. So I like that, because when I was coming up, people wasn't talking about that. All right. I'm 36. And there wasn't a lot of information sharing. Now we got to relearn a lot of things. So I like that y'all shouting out what's really going on. It helps that we just had another civil rights movement in 2020 because of George Floyd and all of those other injustices. So now it's fresh and we can keep that conversation going, right? Drinking and drugging. Kevin is going down the wrong road. Kevin is going down the road of Ronald. Y'all remember Ronald? Keisha, Hennessy, Jack and Coke, Grandma. That's Kevin's future. If he continues to bottle up his emotions and does not deal with all of the things that was going on. Because he's using the escapism. He's not processing. He's escaping. We got to talk about Keisha. Side note, my girl Tabitha Brown, made her debut. We love to see it, don't we? I wouldn't be mad if she goes a little crazy. All right, because this is a show and we like drama on our shows. We don't want it in our real lives, but in our shows, we want it. So if Tabitha Brown went a little bit, I'ma steal the baby, I'm kind of here for it. I need this baby. Losing Isaiah. Give me a little bit of that. You know what I mean? If she went a little bit over the cuckoo's nest because her marriage then fell apart, she's successful, all she ever wanted was a baby. Okay? This girl has a baby. I don't know. I feel like Keisha gonna be playing when it comes to giving this baby up, because she's trying to make sure that this baby is like given the perfect upbringing. And like a lot of them have commented, there's no way that you can guarantee you can give your kid everything in the world, Gemma, and they still gonna turn out and find their own way and find their own voice. Or things can just happen. You just can't assure that a child's life will be without suffering. And I think because of the way that the child was conceived, she's trying to insulate suffering from this unborn baby's life. And it's not reality based. It's not probable. And I think that is a trauma response based on the way in which the baby was conceived. It's her trying to isolate any form of suffrage in the future, which is not possible. And Tabitha coming in, with the dysfunction in the marriage and then admitting, hey, I'm getting a divorce. But he was going to do this as one final act of our love. That's sweet. That's nice. I hope that that's not the end of her being on the show. Like I said, I would like to see a little bit of cuckoo over there. I think that'll really spice it up. I'd like to see that. Tracy. Remember Tracy's son had got killed way back in the day. I wanted to say this about Tracy. Tracy looks good, okay? I think she got herself a government job because she was down there when Ronnie came his little raggedy self down there to come to the job. Tracy was never supposed to be with the neighborhood wino. And I know Duda is married, but like we said, we like our drama on our shows. I'm here for what's about to pop off here. I feel a little threesome action coming on. So if y'all got y'all little blockers on, y'all might not want to watch. I feel a little threesome action might be coming over there. I could tell by the way when Duda walked in, saw her standing up there on that ladder, stacked like some hot cakes. Okay? Tracy is stacked. Okay? And she got a good head on her shoulders. She was never supposed to be with the neighborhood wino. But that's because Tracy didn't know her worth. And we found out, I think she was like, I think the way that she conceived her son was also probably through rape. So I feel like Tracy and Keisha need to talk because that old man was her son's father. And I think, that was her way in the inner city of trying to get a little cash or whatever. Listen, the moral of the story is Tracy got some trauma that she finna play out with Duda, and I'm here for it. Because I kind of feel like this is going to be some sparks. When Candy sat there and said, you want to F my husband? I don't mind sharing. I said, Candy, you better be yourself through and through. I don't mind sharing. And Tracy was sitting there talking about trying to be all like, he ain't all that. Girl, we done all played that role when you like somebody, try to look away. I ain't looking at him. And he came right over there. So I'm here for that storyline. Looking forward to where it can go. Duda, let me ask you something. When you came in that hospital room with your one eye squinted and you saw Jake, was that care in your eye? I think that was care. Don't get me wrong. I think that was care. Because you don't really care for nobody for real. But I feel like once you saw Jake jammed up by the police, I feel like he triggered your care. Because you was thinking, oh, this is my protege. And he done got his ass whipped by the police. And I feel like that pulled on your heartstrings a little bit. Because as far as we know, you ain't got no kids. And this is your opportunity for legacy was through Jake. And I feel like that might actually come to fruition because Jake got enough traumatic experiences that'll turn him off from human connection and turn him into Duda part 2, the second. Little doo-doo. Okay? Baby doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, baby doo-doo-doo. That's how I feel this thing is going to evolve. And I really like how you came in there, shut it down. You said, as a villain of the show or the bad guy, I feel like you're delivering. Okay? I feel like no one really knows the depths of your savagery. I feel like when people come in a room with you, they're uncomfortable because they don't know what you're capable of. I feel like you can turn on the professional guys when you need to and behind the scenes. I feel like you're delivering on all fronts here, Duda. Now, if once you and Tracy get involved, then you start feeling like in love for the first time, and then y'all slip up and get her pregnant, and now she having another baby by the kingpin of the neighborhood. I could see that happening too. And then maybe Candy getting, I don't even know. What is Candy's character name, y'all? Put it in the comments for me so that I know. Because I just be saying Candy. I'm sorry, Candy. I know you out here, you doing your best, honey. Keep on doing it. Tab being crazy. And then just Jake and them having, that was my last thing, is seeing how the children are coming into their puberty ages and forming their opinions of the world around them based on the things that they have experienced. This is how we become who we are. We experience things, we create stories about what we experienced, and then we run with it. And if you do not address those childhood traumas, they're going to come back and bite you in the ass. Because quite a few of them are repeating a lot of the shit that they never got addressed. Darnell, he got 157 kids in the Bluetooth. What cell phone plan do Darnell got? Cricket? I feel like he got to change his number because all the baby mamas be on his ass. Dominique, girl, the son and the dad. This like the movie The Brothers. Remember when Morris Chestnut and Gabrielle? Remember she had slept with the dad, but she ain't know. Now, Dominique, you got full knowledge that this is this man's dad. And I feel like Dominique got something for Emmett, y'all. Because she's getting too close in the mix. And when he proposed to Tiffany, I saw a little jealousy in the side of your mouth. In the side of your mouth. Like Duda had the care in the splint of his eyes. In the side of your mouth, it was a little jealousy. So I feel like she gonna blow. Man, when Tiffany find out that Emmett then slept with Dominique, started a business with her, and now she's in business with her as her edible lady. Where Emmett and Tiffany's kid at? I see they done moved. Darnell done brought the little VCR to the house. Where the children? Remember Emmett had 127. He on track to catch up with his dad. Where these kids at? I need these baby mamas to pop up a few more times. All right. Papa's dad last season, he got in trouble because he was accepting bribes and whatnot. I'd like to see how that situation is going to evolve as far as Papa becoming his own man. And you know he's going to be questioning religion because his dad has shown him one way and then turned out to be a hypocrite. We're not surprised, but we're here to watch it. Because what? We like our drama on our TVs and not in our real lives. That's it. Let me think. Is there anything else of note that happened this season for episode 1? No. I think we covered all of the main topics and themes. We're looking forward to what's to come. I really like the show. There is a lot of drama, trauma, and pain, but there's also some real life and celebration that really goes on, which is representative of life in general. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like and comment. Let me know what stuck out to y'all in the episode. What are you looking forward to? What did you think? Where was the glue in that? They just adding stuff. Let me know in the comments. I'll see y'all next week. Same time, same place. Bye.